Ask the Mayor with Melanie Kebler, only on News Channel 21.
Good morning and welcome back to News Channel 21 at Sunrise. Right now we're joined by Ben's Mayor, Melanie Kebler, for our exclusive segment, Ask the Mayor. Good morning, Mayor.
Good
How
morning.
are you doing?
Good.
A little bit of a snowy drive this morning.
Yes.
Let's get right into it with our viewer questions.
Yeah, so thanks for being here. The first one is a question we've heard before. And one viewer asks, can anything be done about the noise happening from Hayden Homes Amphitheater?
Sure, yeah, we get this question every summer. We have folks that email in, and we've been working with Hayden Homes Amphitheater to talk about the ways they can mitigate sound. And they've been doing a lot with, they have an audio engineer on site at every concert. They do have a special dispensation in our code to have concerts up till 10 p.m. Their average end time is around 9:45 actually lately, so they're actually ending a little early. But it also can depend on the weather. It can depend on if there's trees in the way of you and what's going on that day. Actually, I've learned when it's colder, the sound moves differently than when it's warmer.
Interesting.
So there's a lot going on that they've been working on. They've actually installed different equipment to measure the decibels to make sure they're getting an accurate reading. And they will tell folks, hey, if you are too loud, to take it down to the level. So we continue to work with them, and they continue to try to mitigate that. And they will respond to anyone who's having a complaint and come out to your house and measure and just make sure that they're following.
Wow. So, yeah, you can reach out to Hayden Homes and see if they can come out and do a test of some sort.
Yeah.
This next question takes us to downtown Bend. The viewer asks, why do large trucks and vehicles still get to park on Wall and Bond Street, even though they stick out in the traffic lanes?
Yeah, so you may see down there when you're downtown that for a while now, the parking spots have little hash marks on the end. And we really don't want vehicles sticking out past that because it impedes the traffic flow and it's a safety issue. And this is a pet peeve of mine as well. So I went to check on how many violations we've issued because we will give out a ticket. In 2024, from January to November, there were 797 violations.
Wow.
The year before, there were over 1,000. Maybe people are learning a little bit. I also will pitch the parking garage. Almost always there's spots in the parking garage. If you have a large truck, that's a place that you can go where you don't have to worry about that length issue, and it just creates more safety on the street.
Cool.
Definitely. Well, thank you for that response. This next question is about public comment at city council meetings. And the first question is, why has public testimony time have been reduced from 3 minutes per person to 2 minutes per person?
Yeah, I was trying to remember when we had 3-minute testimony, and I think that was quite a few years back. I think since COVID, since Zoom, there's been a change there. And really in our rules, there's no set time, so it's really whatever the chair, which is the mayor who's leading the meeting, wants to do. And people will see sometimes, especially when we had a really long hearing on another topic we're going to talk about this morning. There's a lot of people in the room. I want everyone to be able to have a say. Yeah. I also don't want us to be making decisions at 11:30 at night if we can help it. So sometimes we'll reduce the time, and we just give people a heads up on that so they know. Really, 2 minutes is enough to kind of give us the gist of things, but I will also want to recognize it's not the best way to really engage with your government. If you want to have a meaningful conversation, send us an email, try to come to our open houses and other things that are on specific topics and really engage with us that way. We're also trying to be out in the community. You're going to see us popping up at different events this holiday season as we gather input for our goals. So there's a lot of other ways to give us input if that 2 minutes just isn't enough for somebody.
Okay. Thank you for that. And this next question is one we hear quite a bit. A new housing development in Southeast Bend. A viewer asks, with the approval to move ahead with the Caldera Ranch proposal in Southeast Bend, what improvements will be made to roads and infrastructure to help with safe evacuations in case of a wildfire?
Yeah, this was a big topic of discussion, especially from neighbors at the meeting that we had last week. And so there are a lot of steps to come on the process for Caldera Ranch. We've really just started by this initial approval to start moving forward with them to come into the UGB. So they will have to do an actual transportation impact analysis, and that will trigger, do we need to ask them to build a center turn lane or not, all those things. I will note the neighborhood as proposed with the street layout that they showed us in their concept plan adds a couple of other ways to get out to Knott Road, but then there will be some analysis of if there are other things they need to build as part of that project, including improving Woodside Road and other connectors. So more to come on that as that moves through the process.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely.
Sense.
Well, we couldn't let you leave without asking a question about housing. So with
Yes,
that
every
being
time.
said, one viewer asks, what are you doing to make housing more affordable for young couples? A median price of $800,000 doesn't work for most.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And when we answered this question last month, I made sure to mention that we had an increase in sales of homes over $1 million, and that kind of drove up that median price. We've actually seen that drop back down this last month, down to 700, because not as many of those really expensive homes have sold. And most 27% of the homes sold last month and 17 in the last year were less than 600K. So that median tells one story, but there are some other homes out there that are available. Still way too high for most people.
Yeah.
We are continuing to do what we can to add more homes to the supply and to support affordable homes. So in 2023, actually 10% of the homes that we built were deed restricted affordable homes, which is higher than the national average, and we're going to keep pushing on that. We're building more homes per capita than any other city. So really bringing all those homes online allows there to be some of that flattening, hopefully, of those home prices that we know are still too high for most people.
Yeah.
Okay.
In our recent Beacon report we just had on the newscast, I think a few days ago, we were explaining that, yeah, the median has dropped quite a bit.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Well, thank you, as always, for joining us every month. And as a reminder, you can ask Mayor Kebler your questions here anytime for our exclusive segment. She'll be back with us again the second Thursday of next month. And to submit your questions, click Ask the Mayor under the News tab on ktvz.com.
And that concludes our exclusive segment, Ask the Mayor with Ben's Mayor Melanie Kebler. We are so appreciative of you coming in studio. I know it's a hard drive in these snowy roads. You're used to it.
That's okay. I grew up here. Just take it easy on the roads out there.
Yes,
Everybody go
definitely.
slow. The plows are out. I saw them out there downtown. So take it easy and be safe today, everybody.
Thank you. Well, thank
Awesome.
you guys so much. We will be right back.